The story begins with a tiny woodland creature named Ollie, doing everything he can to stay alive, until suddenly, he's spotted. And just like that, the chase begins, but suddenly, everything stops. Time freezes, and Ollie turns to us, calm, like none of this matters. Because to him, this isn't even his worst day. His worst day started years ago, when he was just a kid. Back then, Ollie was different, curious, always chasing something new. And one day, he notices something beneath the water, fish moving in ways he's never seen before. Instead of walking away, he makes a choice. He wants to go down there. He wants to breathe underwater. At first, it's a disaster. Nothing works. Every attempt fails. But Ollie doesn't stop. He keeps building, testing, trying again. Until finally, something works. For the first time, he goes under, and everything changes. A whole new world opens around him. Strange creatures, bright colors, life everywhere. For a moment it feels perfect, until it doesn't. Out of nowhere, something big appears. A massive fish, beautiful, but coming straight at him. Ollie doesn't see the danger. He just watches, fascinated, completely still, until his father rushes in, grabs him, and pulls him out at the last second. Back home, his father warns him clearly. Never trust other creatures. Stay with your own kind, always. But Ollie can't let it go. He keeps talking about what he saw, how incredible it was, and that only makes things worse. His parents shut it down immediately. No more exploring, no more risks. And most importantly, never leave the island again. Because where they live, there's only one rule. Hide today, live tomorrow. And when his father realizes, Ollie still doesn't understand, he makes a decision. It's time to tell him the truth. But before he can speak, someone else steps in. His grandmother. She takes over and begins the story. Long ago, this valley wasn't peaceful. It was ruled by fear. Because of one creature, a wolf. Fast, powerful, deadly. Nothing could stop it. Until one day, something new arrived. Massive beings, tall, silent, like living trees. They were called the Zoo, and they weren't like anything else. They had a gift, a power that could transform animals, and even let different species understand each other. For the first time, there was peace. Creatures living together, without fear. But it didn't last. The wolf refused to lose control, so it did the impossible. It stole their power, and became something far worse. A firewolf. And once it changed, everything fell apart. In pure rage, it destroyed many of the Zoo. The rest had no choice. They fled the valley forever. Since then, the firewolf has ruled the land. But surprisingly, none of this scares Ollie. If anything, he looks unimpressed. To him, it's just a story. And then we learn something important. Ollie belongs to a species called the puku. And right now, they're celebrating a harvest. Their piplet crops, the food they depend on. For once, everything feels safe. Until Ollie notices something. A small creature nearby, a baby Javan. And just like always, his curiosity takes over. He moves closer, slowly, watching. The little Javan is struggling, trying to open a piplet to eat. It can't figure it out. So Ollie steps in. He shows it how to crack the fruit open. He even takes the first bite, just to prove it's safe. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the Javan copies him. It works. But that moment doesn't last, because suddenly, Ollie's dad appears. He rushes in, grabs Ollie immediately, pulls him back and hides him, because to him, this is danger. And then, the baby Javan screams, calling for help. Within moments, the sky fills with movement. An entire flock arrives. Dozens of them, watching, learning. They see the fruit, see how it opens, and just like that, they take everything. And in that moment, this becomes one of the worst days of Ollie's life. Back in the present, the chase ends. Ollie finally makes it home. But something feels off. Too quiet, too tense. The puku are in trouble. Winter is coming, and their food is gone. Panic spreads. Fear takes over. Because this isn't just a loss. It's survival. And they're not sure they'll make it. And Ollie knows why. The guilt hits him hard. Because deep down, this is his fault. He was trying to help, trying to be kind. But instead, he caused all of this. But suddenly, something clicks. A memory. He remembers a moment when a Javan backed away, not from him, but from light. Reflected light. And just like that, he has an idea. Ollie gathers pieces of glass, positions them carefully, and uses the sun. Flashes of light. Bright. Sharp. Scaring the birds away from the crops. At first, it works perfectly. But then, one Javan breaks through. Fast. Aggressive. Heading straight for him. Ollie reacts instantly, flashes the light at it. But it's too close, too fast. The impact hits him hard. The bird crashes into him, and in a second, he's thrown back, losing control, falling straight into a deep pit. And at the bottom, he sees something strange, a glowing pod, faint, but alive, the same one his grandmother once spoke about. Ollie freezes, unsure what to do. He tries to move away, but his footing slips, and suddenly, he falls again, deeper, right into the pit. Later that evening, his family starts searching for him, calling his name, looking everywhere. From deep inside the pit, Ollie hears them. He calls back, loud, desperate, and somehow, he manages to climb out. But the second they see him, everything changes. They freeze, then panic, and one by one, they run away. Ollie stands there, confused, until he looks at himself and realizes the truth. He's not a puku anymore. He's a Javan, completely transformed. He tries to explain, tries to make them understand, but hearing Ollie's voice, coming from a bird, only makes things worse. To them, there's only one explanation. The Javan ate him. So they attack, driven by fear, and Ollie has no choice but to run. Until suddenly, he slips and falls straight off a cliff. Everything goes dark, and the next day, he wakes up, far from home, alone, shaken, barely understanding what just happened. Until, he's not alone anymore. Two Javans approach him, watching him carefully, confused by how he's acting. Then one of them speaks. Her name is Ivy, and with her, her sisters, Violet and Lily. They explain something surprising. They were the ones who saved him, carried him all the way here, and now, they want to take him somewhere safe. To Javan Rock, for treatment, but Ollie refuses immediately. He doesn't trust them, not anymore. In fact, he starts panicking, pulling at his own feathers, desperate to escape this body. Like he's trapped, like this isn't real. The sisters exchange looks, thinking something's wrong with him. So they explain. He hit his head, badly, while they were trying to carry him. That's why he's acting like this. Disoriented, confused, but before they can say anything else, a sound cuts through the forest. A howl, deep, terrifying, too familiar. The fire wolf. It's close, and everything shifts again. Ivy reacts instantly. She grabs nearby fruit, crushes it, and spreads it over Ollie, masking his scent. Then she hides him and takes off with her sisters, gone in seconds. Moments later, the fire wolf appears, silent, searching. Its presence alone freezes everything. It moves through the area, looking, listening, but eventually, it leaves. And just like that, the danger passes. Once it's safe, Ollie slowly steps out. He makes his way to a nearby lake, while she's off the fruit, trying to clear his head. And that's when he meets someone new, a fish named Boogle. At first, it's strange, but after hearing Ollie's story, everything that happened, Boogle pauses, then says something important. He's seen one before, a glowing pod, just like the one Ollie described, near a large, hollow tree. And in that moment, hope comes back. Ollie doesn't hesitate. He takes off immediately, determined to find it. After a long search, he finally finds it, the pod, right where Boogle said it would be. But there's a problem. He can't reach it. It's too high, and he still doesn't know how to fly. And just when things feel stuck, someone returns. Ivy. She lands beside him and offers to help, but with one condition. After this, he goes with her. No more running. Ollie hesitates for a second, then agrees, because he has no choice. This is his only chance. But the moment they try, everything goes wrong. Ivy touches the pod, and instantly, she transforms right in front of him into a puku. Silence. Shock. Ollie just stands there, realizing what just happened. That was his chance. His only chance. Gone. Ivy looks at herself, confused, frustrated, completely lost. And then, the truth hits her. That pod was the only way back. Now both of them are stuck in the wrong bodies, with no way to fix it. At least, not yet. So they make a decision. Stay together, and find another one, because there has to be more. Soon after, Ollie spots someone familiar. Boogle. He rushes toward him, hope rising again. Maybe this time, he has answers. And this time, he does. Boogle explains. The pods they're looking for don't just appear anywhere. They grow on the bodies of creatures called Falenzo, creatures that were taken down by the fire wolves. And then, he points them forward, toward their next destination. a massive waterfall, not too far from here. Ollie doesn't waste a second. He and Ivy move immediately, heading straight toward the cliffs. But as they climb, a new problem appears. A distant howl cuts through the silence. Without thinking, they hide, holding still, barely breathing. Moments later, something appears. A small wolf pup, alone, looking around like it's searching for someone. Its father. For a moment, everything feels calm again. But then, Ollie and Ivy start arguing. They get distracted and fail to notice a pack of wolves sneaking up behind them. By the time they realize it, it's already too late. The wolves attack instantly. Ollie and Ivy barely escape, then start running for their lives. Ivy keeps yelling at Ollie to fly. But no matter how hard he tries, he still can't do it. With the wolves getting closer every second, they spot a dark cave ahead and rush inside without thinking. And then, silence. They slow down, confused, because the wolves didn't follow. Not even one. And that's when Ivy feels it. Something is wrong. The air feels heavy, almost alive. Then she sees them. Root snakes everywhere. And now? They're trapped. Wolves outside. Snakes inside. No clear way out. For a moment, neither of them moves. Then Ollie comes up with a plan. They carefully move through the cave, while Ivy uses her sense of smell to avoid the root snakes hiding everywhere. They almost make it out, until a loud howl wakes the snakes. Chaos erupts instantly. Ollie and Ivy run, but end up trapped at a dead end. With no other choice, Ivy pushes Ollie off the edge and teaches him how to use his wings while he falls. And at the last second, Ollie finally learns how to fly, saving both of them. They land safely far from the cave, exhausted but alive. Ollie offers to fly Ivy to the waterfall immediately, but she refuses. It's too dark and dangerous to travel at night, so they rest. And Ivy finally tells him the truth about her past. After the zoo disappeared, the Javan lost their food source. Many starved, including her parents. As the oldest, Ivy had to protect her siblings and find food for them. That's when she discovered the piplets. Hearing this, Ollie realizes something painful. Long ago, he was the one who taught a young Javan how to open a piplet, and that one small act may have caused everything. By morning, they move again, and this time, they finally reach it, and together, they search, until they find it, the body of its zoo, right there. But there's a problem. It sits right in the middle of a wolf den. Getting close won't be easy, and just then, Boogle returns. He offers to distract the wolves, admitting he's lonely, and sees them as his only friends. In return, he asks for one thing. If they find more pods, he wants their help to transform into a creature that can live on land. Ivy agrees. So without hesitation, Boogle leads the wolves away, giving Ollie and Ivy a chance to sneak inside. There, they finally find a magic pod. But there's a problem. Only one exists. Ivy says she should use it first, then help him find another. But before anything happens, Ollie finally tells her the truth. He was the little Puku she met long ago, the one who trusted her, before her flock destroyed his people's food supply. And in that moment, Ivy realizes what her actions caused. But before anything can be fixed, the firewolves return, and everything collapses again. In the chaos, both of them reach for the pod at the same time, and in a flash, they transform into fish, just like Boogle. Without thinking, they dive into the water, barely escaping. Once they're safe, Ivy finally figures it out. The pods don't choose your form. You become whatever you say when you use them. Frustration builds, and Ollie snaps. He blames her for everything, and in that moment, he says it clearly. They were never meant to be allies, never meant to work together. Ivy is hurt, angry, and done, so they decide to split, go their separate ways. But just as Ollie turns away, Boogle speaks again, reminding him, this isn't over. There are more pods, and he knows where. Ollie stops, thinks, then slowly turns back, because this is still his only chance. Then Boogle reveals the next place, the most dangerous spot in the valley. The towering rock falls, high, unstable, impossible to climb alone, which means they need each other. And that moment shifts something. Ivy opens up. She apologizes. Everything she did was to protect her siblings, to keep them alive, nothing more. Ollie listens, then finally accepts it. And just like that, they move forward together, until they reach it. The roaring falls, massive, overwhelming, and above them, countless pods shimmer in the distance. It's risky, but they try anyway. But the moment they start climbing, something feels wrong, because the rocks aren't rocks at all. They move, attack, living predators hidden in plain sight. The group barely escapes. After that, they reach the pods, and finally, they return to normal, back to themselves. But then, everything breaks again, because Boogle steps forward, takes a pod, and uses it, and instantly, he transforms into something far worse. A firewolf. The same one, from the old legends. The one who destroyed the valley. The truth finally comes out. He was never just a friend, never just lonely. He was waiting, all this time, for someone naive enough to trust him, so he could take his power back. And now, he has it. He reveals everything. The past, the betrayal, how he was abandoned and left alone, and how that pain turned into rage, a need to control everything, until he was weakened, trapped in a smaller form. But now, he's back, stronger than ever. Ivy tries to stop him. She uses a pod, tries to become something stronger. But it's not enough. He's too powerful. She gets badly hurt. And just like that, he destroys the last pod. No more chances. No way back. Then he leaves, and everything feels lost. But Ollie doesn't chase him. He doesn't fight. Instead, he makes a choice. He chooses Ivy. He carries her, for days, through pain, through exhaustion, until he reaches her people, Job and Rock. And after some time, she recovers. But peace doesn't last, because far away, destruction begins again. Boogle, the firewolf, is tearing the valley apart, and this time, it's worse. So Ollie steps up, no hesitation. He gathers everyone, leads them, organizes a massive rescue, moving every creature to the only safe place left, Cuckoo Island, and something unexpected happens. Even the firewolves join, helping, because they remember, he saved one of theirs. And now, they return the favor. With everything on the line, Ollie makes one final plan, inspired by the past, to trap Boogle again. For good, he calls on something deeper, the spirit of the Zoo. And for a moment, he gains power, the ability to transform, to fight back. And then, he faces him, Ollie, against a firewolf. The final battle begins, but it doesn't go as planned. The plan fails, and the firewolf overpowers him, consumes him piece by piece. And in that moment, everything feels lost. Until Ollie makes one final move, a sacrifice. He drags Boogle with him, straight into the waterfall. The force, the impact, ends it. For good, but at a cost. His life. Months pass. Slowly, the valley heals. Peace returns, and something else returns. The Zoo, because of one choice. One act. Choosing unity over fear. But then, a twist. Ollie is alive. Somehow. He tells Ivy that Zoo found him, saved him, brought him back. And when he returns, his family is there, waiting, relieved, together again. And just like that, the story comes to an end.